Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of Charmane's World Podcast. I'm sitting here with an amazing guest who I've been trying to get almost all year long. But it's okay because schedules, they're busy. So it's just really nice to just have somebody who, thought a little of me and circle back around. And now we're able to have, the time. And actually, speaking of time, because I think timing is everything. I don't know. I think where I was then when I was trying to get this gentleman on was a good space. However, now, I don't know, it's probably been like 6, 9, 10, 12 months later. I'm in a much different space. So I feel like I have a lot more to discuss with him about life and what's going on in progress and moving and shaking and making connections. So for all those who are wondering, like, well, who are you talking to? Well, I'm talking about my man Ian Kelly. That's why I have here. Everybody run applause.
What up, what up, what up?
Gang, gang. So I have Ian. Ian, what's going on? What's up? What's
Man,
new?
Just out here chilling, feeling okay.
Okay, you're in the Bay, are you?
Yeah, I'm living in the Bay. I was living in North Carolina from 2017 to 2020, and then I moved back July 2020.
Right. So with you leaving, because dang, you sped me up a little bit on my agenda because we was gonna get into how you took you kind of like I was asking someone, I was like, what happened to Kels? What where's he at? And then my friend was like, oh yeah, he moved to North Carolina. What? Of all, where? Why? Where? For how long? When's he coming back? He was like, I don't know, he's working, doing his rapping thing. And I was like, oh yes, he did do music. Because when, a little backstory, when I met Kels, it was actually on a party bus for a friend's birthday. Yes, for a friend's birthday or something like that. And I was like, my first time meeting him, he was like, oh, hey, it's my partner, his name's Kels. I was like, okay, cool. We fucking with it. We all on this party bus together. So, we about to do the damn thing. And then I think that might have been the last time I saw you in real life was on that party bus.
That was a minute. That had to be like 4 years ago.
4, sir. That had to be like 6, 8. Almost a decade ago, like 6, 8. I ain't gonna give it 10 years, but it was like, I don't know, it had to be like 2013. Where was I living at? That's how I usually remember stuff. I'm like, where was I living at? It had to be like 2013. I don't even think I was really living in Richmond at the time, or just yet. I think I was about to move to Richmond, but yeah, it had been like a while. And so I'm just like, okay, and one thing about me is everybody knows I like to keep up with people. I like to kind of know what people are doing. Some say I might be nosy, but I just like to learn. I just like to get information. And so I had kept up with you for a little. I'm like, okay, he's doing music. I just keep, just listen to see whatever. But then when I discovered that you had packed up your bags, put it on a stick and left, I was like, dang. I was like, so are we ever gonna see him again? So this season on Charmane's World Podcast is season 2. This is gonna be the last episode of this season. I feel like I'm just ready to move on to something else. This season's topic is called What's Really Going On. So I'm glad that I have you because we can really talk about what's really going on with you, with life, what's going on around us. It's like, when I think of your project, Kels is dead. So it's like, Kels is dead, but what's up with Ian? What's up with him? So that's what I'm very, very interested in. So let's talk about let's just get into the move, because that's just personally, if we weren't doing this show, I would be like, so what happened? What made you feel like you should leave or move? Because being from the Bay, and from what I've seen, known, and felt, that a lot of us tend to branch out. We want to go somewhere else for a change of scenery. We've been here all our lives. I know I surely felt like that. Like, I wanted to go to college out of state. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to Alabama or DC to live my new Black life. But that didn't happen for me. But I still have these aspirations of wanting to move, and almost even more so now that I'm just a little bit
You froze
older.
on me.
I did? No, I can still hear you.
You froze on me.
You froze on me.
Okay, we back.
All right, so yes, full I was gonna say full screen. So leaving, I want to leave. Now that I'm older, you get older, you get a little bit more scared sometimes, a little bit more timid about making big moves and stuff. So I just am interested because I feel like whatever you're about to tell me is probably about to inspire the hell out of me. But what, was like, I'm about to I gotta go. I'm about to leave. Um,
So that process came because I got an older friend who's like an older brother type of figure. His name is GQ. He was with a label called Jamla Records, and he himself wanted to start a collective in Oakland called ODS One Day Soon. So first I hopped in that collective, and he was just like, "Hey, bro, like you know what? For a week, let's just go see Ninth Wonder and let's go kid around Jamla and everything." So I'm like, "Bet." So it was like 8 of us. We all went to go see the Jamla Records camp and just kind of stay around, just connect. That's when I first met Rhapsody, Heather Victoria, Crisis, Ninth Wonder. And after that, in 2016, when I came back to the town, Q had gotten a call. Q got a phone call from Ninth, and Ninth was like, "Hey, Q, we want you to come back, work on your album." And he was like, "All right, bet." He was like, "But we want you to bring these people back with you." And I was one. So
glad to be in a number.
So
glad number.
So at that point it was 2016. Then we left 2017, and then that's where the new part of my musical journey definitely started, where that was my first time like being just a complete artist, nothing else.
So I'm assuming from information, because I've been keeping up, so I know you probably had to quit your job. Weren't you in school, or were you out of school at the time?
So I was in my master's program for psychology at Holy Names University in Oakland. So I had left that, and I had a job, 2 jobs. I had one job as a therapeutic behavioral specialist, and
I did that.
See, there you go. And I had a job as what was the title? Mindful life teacher. I was a mindful life teacher. So I was teaching mindfulness, doing hip hop, doing my own stuff. But once I took that leap of faith, I had to leave those 2 jobs too, and let it all go and be like, all right, let's go for it. So.
Yeah, I used to be a behavioral like technician. That was actually pretty cool. I did for like a month or 2. I had a good time. I actually liked those kids. But I had a really great time. I learned a lot. But with picking up and leaving, there's a lot of great people. Only a few I come to mind right now who I know that have like stopped, mid something to go and like bet on themselves doing something else. I know the first person that comes to my mind all the time is, don't let me get which brother it is, but I want to say it's no, it's not Keenan Wayans. It's the oldest brother, the oldest brother of the Wayans. Is that Keenan? Or is it?
I think Keenan is the oldest.
Okay. The oldest one. He went to Tuskegee, dropped out last semester.
Marlon.
No. It's not Marlon.
What's the one from my kids? What's the one from my wife?
What's the one? I want to say it's Keenan. We're gonna roll with Keenan.
Keenan. All right, fuck it, it's Keenan.
It's been shown out Marlon. They the younger ones. But last semester at Tuskegee, wanted to pursue comedy, left, and just went to LA. As a parent, if I was his parent, every time I think about this, I would have been like, hot. Like, what do you mean? You got one semester. Semesters were like 6 months. You got one semester left. Like, what do you mean you're about to stop to do comedy? Like, oh gosh. And I'm sure he probably got a lot of that probably from a lot of people, even himself maybe, but he bet on himself. He did his thing. And, now look, we talking about the wife and kids. We got Living Color. We got all these greats to come through there. And it's admirable that, you just took, you went, I guess, for like a week originally to North Carolina.
Yeah, it started off just a week plan.
Just a week plan. And now it's like, hey, bring him back. Okay, we liked him. Bring him, bring him. So I know that had to be that had to be like a really, really good feeling. And then just with going somewhere else, right? One thing that I'm experiencing or thinking of is moving, is going somewhere else, taking my talents to South Beach, maybe. That's a joke, but just taking my talents somewhere else.
I
But I
see you.
really, but I really like it here in the Bay. Like I love it so much, and I really want to like do all I can here. But I really feel like I want to leave. So with leaving, right? You think of like kind of like the hesitancy. Like how long did you stay there when you went back the second time?
Oh, well, when I went back the second time to North Carolina, that's when I stayed from 2017 to 2020.
This man just lived there. He was like, fuck it, I'm just going, I gotta live here now.
Yeah, all it took was one. I've always been kind of like that. All it took is just kind of one visit and then get up and go. Even when I went to college, I went to Howard. I only visited Howard one time briefly, didn't even see the full school. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go here. I've always just been kind of interested in traveling and getting up out of here. You feel me? Like you learn so much, branch out and different things.
Yeah, and Howard's a really nice school. I've been to what's their campus, I think like twice. It's really nice. I really believe they're still the real HU. I don't know what's going on with their football team though. They didn't win this time against Hampton. Maybe
you went to
next year. No, I have friends that went to Hampton, and so it's always a thing, who the real HU is.
I'm surprised you even mentioned that in my presence. That's crazy. Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't get the chance to go to Howard like I wanted. So now I'm just kind of like I'm a free agent, so to speak, like, but I do believe that Howard is the real HU. I will say that. I'll argue. Exactly. I will argue anybody with that. But, I think it's admirable that you just, I'm about to do this. And it's very fearless. I watched an interview, you said that even your mom was like, wow, you're pretty fearless. And it's crazy how even the people around us, we think that they see what we're doing, or we think that they would know us. Like, you don't know that I have this in me. Like, I thought we was here. But people they watching or see what they see from their perspective. And sometimes they don't really know all that you have within you until you start really making moves, or making plans and making big steps.
Most people are usually they're used to just seeing it from their perspective, so it's kind of hard seeing you in a different light. Trust me, I mean, even me still now is people to kind of like still be like, oh, okay, you really doing this, like, you gotta you catch yourself turning people into believers day by day until you get to a certain spot to where it's just kind of like, oh, okay, we're like
the proof is in the pudding. They're gonna see. Yeah, I speaking of that, right, seeing people in a different light, I just got a DM on Instagram. I posted a video of me. My friend recorded a video of me in Vegas. I was doing the clown walk, right? Just messing around. I was dancing, just messing around. I got a DM and it's like, oh my gosh, I never saw you like this. Like, this is just a whole new you. And, you were just so reserved and at work. And that's what got me, was at work. So I'm like, why would I be doing a clown walk at work? But, like, it's like, you seem like such a really, really fun person. And I'm just like, but I don't know who you thought I was. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Why? I don't know who you thought I was. And that to me is just like small stuff. But even with me like planning events and doing different projects like around the city and stuff, like, it's just interesting the things that people, they'll say, because they'll think that, you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to behave like this. Like my grandfather was a pastor, so it's like, oh, you know this? Like, I didn't know that you listened to this type of music. And I'm like, I listen to everything.
That's why my J. Cole record to this day is probably two sides. Just because he just explains how there's two sides to every person. There's multiple sides to every person, but just how he broke it down like that in that song, I was just like, yeah, like people always expect one thing, but trust me, there's always another side to every person.
Well, I mean, I think people, that's what makes people so people and beautiful and amazing, aside from the wild, crazy shit they do. But like the fact that you can be multifaceted. You can have different talents. You can have different aspirations. You could just change your mind, like, and just change the trajectory of your life. Like, even let's say you were like, I'm just going to finish, my master's program, and I'm gonna just stick to this. And then, years later, like when you get older, you're like, I really want to take this rap shit serious, or I just want to start cooking now. Like, that's for surely your prerogative to do that. And I think it's limiting of us to think that people can't, or they shouldn't be able to have the ability to, change their mind, or to do something different. Well, one thing I saw you do that I really enjoyed, I think you might have liked my comment or retweeted it. Maybe it was a tweet, but it was when you were on Good Company. So everyone who doesn't know, Good Company is ran by LaRussell. LaRussell is from Vallejo. I'm from Vallejo. So it's like the home team here. So what was that like? I think you're the first person I've talked to. I mean, I know people who are on there, but the first person I've talked to who's been who had a moment on there. What was the experience like, or just setting that up, or coordinating that? Was that a freestyle? That was a freestyle, right?
Yeah, that was a freestyle. I mean, well, Lorenzo, it was really dope. And honestly, what Lorenzo is putting together and what he's doing with his team and everything, like, it was just a dope vibe to kind of see how like they move it wherever they need to move it. So we actually did that freestyle. That was kind of like more like his garage, but he has another spot where like he has like a place where he does things, and just seeing that's when I was just kind of like, oh, tight, like bro's really like, he got an operation where like he can get it in multiple places. So that was the first thing that I noticed. But walking in, honestly, to be real, my mindset was just I came here to do what I came here to do. Like, you feel me? I didn't really walk in there really kind of nervous about it at all. I did it in one take, so it was just one of the moments that just kind of hit, and like it felt good. And it was what's really hella funny is that so we actually had to kind of do that twice. The first time we had did it like some months earlier, and it was right before I had went back to North Carolina to work on my project.
Yes, when you left me, you was like, I'm gone. I was
like, no. Yeah, you feel me? I had to go back and get it in. But that's actually, we had filmed one and it didn't go through. Like right when we filmed it, yeah, like something happened on the end where I think we lost the footage. So as soon as I came back, I had to do another one. So that's why, like, instantly, as soon as I got back, I had, not to say I had forgotten about the verse, but it was just kind of like, I was just like, okay, I was making other music, a lot of other things. But then the moment he hit me back up for the reschedule, it was just kind of like, it was just game time in my mind. I'm just like, all right, yeah. I'm like, make your presence known on this verse, and then
hey, go crazy.
Get up out of here.
Do you feel that this second take, like, which one do you feel was better, like the first take or the second take?
I'm not gonna lie, the second take, I feel like the second take was better, and not just because it was the second take and I felt more polished, but I don't know, just my whole day, you'll laugh. It felt like a rapper type of day. Like I had to go to the studio, then I had to go get a haircut, and after the haircut, I had to go do the cipher, and after the cipher, I had to go catch a plane trip to LA. So it was just like, it was like a swoop all in one day. And so before I actually got to the cipher, I damn near was like, all right, no lie, like you kind of gotta kill it because you only got this much time before you gotta go get on the plane. So it was like the pressure was on. The pressure was on.
Yeah, like a full itinerary of like,
yeah, that was a good
stops. I like that. I can't wait to my day is like that, but it's more like grocery store, get your nails done, get something to eat.
I got you.
Do some research. That's me. That's
hey, I got the days too.
A creative day for me. So with you mentioned team, and I feel I'm really learning the benefits of having a good team, like having a good group of people around you, a good group of just people that you can like shuffle ideas with, or people just that support you. And it might look different, like it might be more than one group is for this, one group is good for that, but I'm really starting to see the benefits of it. And when you came back when you came back, or I guess when I realized like, oh shit, he's back around, was when I saw you show up with Grand National. And I was like, oh shit. Like that's literally how it was. I was like, what? Grand this okay. I ain't gonna lie, I was very excited. Like I'm so, like, I don't know if you could tell, but I just get very, very excited because
I can
it's like
feel you.
I don't know you that well,
Right.
but I feel like I support him. Like I've met him, I
It's always
support him.
love. But when we first met, we was cool. And then like after that, even social media wise and this stuff, we've always been cool. So I think I know what you mean. It's just kind of like the vibe was there, just like I think I get a good vibe about this person. So I appreciate that support and love because that shows you being a natural, just a real one for even doing that, not knowing me.
No, for real, no problem. Like I mean, you keep doing you, and I'm gonna just still be, team, over here. But seeing you come with them, and like I was just so shocked. I guess I had heard in conversation, like I've done a few other podcasts, and it come up like Grand National. I'm just like, oh, okay, like some names. I'm like, I know some of those names. Like, are they like a whole collective? Is this just like a one time? Just a one time Diddy reunion. I'm not sure. I was like, what's going on? But since just like reading and just following the music is really what's been helping me. It's just following the music, just keeping my eyes open, reading. And I'm like, you know what? This shit is fire. And I'm telling everybody about it. And all of y'all better download it and put it on your phones. And I'm a little aggressive about it as well. But it's okay.
Be aggressive. I don't mind
It's
that.
okay. I feel like I'm now a part of the wolf pack. I would howl for you, but it's a little shaky.
It's okay.
I,
Really, like after tea and stuff, like we'll wait for the
I
howling.
was working on it at High Road Day, and I think I've almost got it because it's out. That was outside, and to keep it real, I didn't even know I was going to High Road Day, so I felt kind of tricked because I just saw that Grand National is going to be at in Oakland at the whatever that part is called, and I was like at home. I was working on a project, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. No, my mouse died. That's what happened, and I was like, well, I guess it's time to take a break because my mouse died, and I need to go get some batteries. And I end up just passing Walgreens, and I just drove to Oakland. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna just go and see what the team is doing. And then I thought I missed you guys because I thought I heard someone like rapping because it's like, it's barricaded in with the fence. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm missing it. And then I ran into my homegirl Venus, and I was like, bro, did we miss them? And she was like, no, I just saw Ian. And I was like, where? I ain't see him. I was like, I've been here for 20 minutes. I have not seen them. And she was like, no, I don't think they've gone on yet. But it was really good. Like the show was really good. Seeing you do your thing was even better. One thing I want to say about when I've seen you perform is that you don't mind really getting into the music or into your performance. You don't mind, getting on the floor. You don't mind just really just putting all your energy into it. And what looks so great to me is that you don't look exhausted when you do it. It looks like it looks like this is what you should be doing. Like, and your delivery is good every time. Like it sounds just like it sounds on the album or on the different songs that I listen to. I've given some people suggestions like you should just rap how you sound when you normally rap, because when you're live you change your voice, and I don't know who that is, but
That's interesting. Okay.
you sound just like, and I usually hear that about singers, like, oh, she sounds just like her album, just like the record. Like you sound just like the record, and I really appreciate that. Now my question was that I actually almost forgot was Grand National. Please tell me, fill me in. How how?
Mhm.
How did we get in there?
How did it come about?
Because it's a lot of you guys. It's a lot of different, like, eight. Are you the youngest?
I would be the third youngest in the clique. I'm the third youngest.
Who's beneath you?
The youngest I think would be Rue Schenkel, and
Mhm.
then I want to say Jane,
I was
and
gonna
then
say, is Jane older than you? I thought she was maybe older than you.
no, Jane's a little younger than me, like a few months, some months.
Okay. Like she cannot be that much younger. A few months. Okay. A few
Mhm.
months. Okay, but yeah, so hooking up with them. I'm like, because it's like boom, 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 thank you. So I'm just like, and one thing about music, and I'm gonna let you answer because I know I just asked you a question, but one thing that we tend to do with people who express interest in music or rapping, people bully rappers, is we say things like, ain't you too old to be doing that? Or don't you ain't you supposed to be doing that? Like, or like, you need to like stop. Like, when are you gonna stop? Like, you haven't hit yet, or you haven't, like reached
Mhm.
whatever. You're like, you're not Jay-Z. Like, people tend to say things like that, and I learned actually that that's harmful, and it really doesn't matter because
Mm-mm.
good is good. Like,
Good is good, and one thing I'll say is that everybody has to run their own race. That's the biggest thing I've always realized. It's hard, especially in the music game, to like see other people who you feel like man, like I came up with, or you feel like, oh man, like I've been working this long. Like if you put yourself in that mentality, it can be hard and almost harmful because
mhm.
it's like that's a losing mentality. You can't really judge yourself with the next person. You got to really always judge your route and what you did from like the last, like what I did a year ago. Is that better
Mm.
now? From when then, is that better now? Like that's the main person I be trying to battle with, like myself and nobody else.
Yeah, it's because what I've seen is that sometimes it seems that I think I'm gonna just say our because I'm not an artist in the way that you are, but our
Mhm.
expectation could be like, well, he isn't or she isn't doing this, like they're not as good or they're not, why aren't they doing this? And what I've started to actually tell people, because I feel like as long as I'm silent, I'm a part of the problem, so I try to speak up. And so what I tell people is that sometimes everyone's measure of success is not the same. Like what I see as me being successful, you might not see that. You might say like, oh, that was very mid. You did all right. But for me, it was like a major win, because everyone's level of success is not going to be the same. Like
Right.
there's plenty of singers, right? And they're good. We know them. The
Right.
Guapales and the India Iries, but then someone's like, well, they're not as big as Beyonce. And it's like, so? So maybe they don't aspire to be that big. Maybe they're good with what they're doing. They're doing what they are here to do, and that's put out good music. And there's people who attest to that their music is good.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and that they might be happy with that. And if they're not, then that's on them to figure out how they can be better. But I feel that people can be just a little harmful with their words on how to we measure or how we measure people's success and what they should be doing, especially when it comes to their artistry or like rapping, because in Grand National a like it's the oldest and then it's the youngest and it's kind of a gap. So it's really great to see, I think for people, these more veteran, we can call them veteran rappers, they've been doing it for a while, kind of rebrand and come as a collective and work with younger artists, because sometimes we see the whole, all these young, they not, and they messing up and they don't respect real hip hop or real rap or this and that. And a lot of times that's not the case. Because
It's
sometimes I think
not.
we're better, we can be better together. And I think this is a great example of.
And I love what you said about age too, because when you think about let me make sure I'm right, but I think Jay-Z, even like his first album that really kind of got things going for him, Reasonable Doubt, I think that didn't really crack off till he was like 29. I think he dropped it. I think it was 26. I think it didn't crack off to 29. I'll do my research. I know 2 Chainz didn't pop off to like 35. 50 Cent didn't really pop off to like 29, 30.
Mhm.
Rhapsody didn't pop off to like 32, 33. D Smoke didn't really get on to like 31. I mean, like people have their opinions on when you supposed to get on, but nah, like you're right. There's no rules to this, and honestly, like when you get polished and your time hits, it works out perfectly. I feel blessed to be the age I am because I just know that personally, whatever happens for me on this road, I know is well deserved. I know I work for it, and
Mhm.
I just feel a little bit more gamed up at this point. Like you feel me? At this point, it's like I know a lot more about business. I know a lot more about partnerships and different type of things. So
Mhm.
I don't see too much stuff just getting completely by me these days, which is also a blessing.
Yeah, I was telling someone in conversation, they were like, "Oh, because I one year it was like 2015. I'll never forget. I met Wale at least 4 times in one year. 4 times, 4 times so much. His main bouncer knew who I was. Like, and it wasn't like on some groupie stuff. Like, dang, she just stay get back here. It was just like I just kept meeting him. It was fate. But anywho, I really like Wale, right? And I was telling someone like the reason why I like him so much, and people, as he would say in his class, so that would be like him, J. Cole, for example, is because I really like artists who not there's nothing wrong with child celebrities or what have you, like Bow Wows and stuff like that, Romeos and them. But I really like artists who have experienced life. Like I feel that the artists that did some time in school, I said time like they was jail, who went to school or who got a who got a degree and did life, like they had to, they know what it's like to, like, for example, Nicki Minaj, right? She's who she is, but she used to work at Red Lobster. I've eaten at Red Lobster. I'm sure you might have eaten Red Lobster. Like these are people who are actually regular, as we would say, regular people. They've been fans of people. They've been, where we've been. And I feel like it makes them almost a better artist because they understand people. I feel like they understand their audience and where people are coming from. And I also feel like it also helps them navigate their success a little bit better. Um,
Right.
I just don't foresee, you know, um, some of these. Oh, I want to make a comment about the whole age thing, but we don't see some of these artists who have this type of background doing wild shit. All right, so well, looks like we have shared a lot today so far. We are most definitely going to have to put a pause on, and we're going to most definitely break, and we will be back with a part 2. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Ian, really quickly tell these people, of course, like everyone asks, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at first name Ian. You can find me on Twitter at first name Ian. I'm working on IG, so find some other stuff from me, but I'm rocking and rolling.
All right, cool. Of course, everybody, I will put all his information in the descriptions where they ask, so you guys can keep up and keep up with his music, please. Dang, I really want to talk about Kel's dead. And
No, that's the thing. Don't let this ain't the end. And when I say this part 2, literally like Monday, are you free Monday?
yeah, yeah, yeah.